Let's name the triangle given as ABC. Doesn't matter which order, as long as you're consistent on the second one. And the next one, DEF. And the hinge theorem states the following. If these two sides are the same as these two on the other triangle, and I give you that one of the angle, and let's say this angle is 60, and that angle is 70. So let's state measurement of angle A is less than measurement of angle D. Then we know the following. So if I know angle 60 is smaller than angle 70, what can we say about side BC versus EF? BC will be smaller than EF. You don't even need a specific number on that. So our conclusion is BC must be less than EF. Let's go the converse direction. Let's name this exactly the same. And then we have DEF. Also given these two sides are congruent as these two on the other. And the given information on this one is going to start from a side. Let's say BC is greater than EF. So go to BC and EF and highlight it. Ooh. And I want to pick a number that's bigger and one that's smaller. So if I say BC is 7, then 5 is smaller. What can I say about the opposite angle? Which one must be greater? Angle A must be greater. So I'm going to say, because 7 is greater than 5, angle A must be greater. So measurement of angle A must be bigger than measurement of angle D. So know how to apply it. So let's look at an actual example. On number 1, did I give you two triangles? Okay. Do I know if two sides of one triangle is same as the two sides of the other? Is 7 the same as 7? Is FH part of the triangle on the left and the right? So can I apply the hinge theorem? Definitely. So if I know this is 82, because we have a straight line, this one has to be 98. Why is that? Must equal 180. Very good. So 98 is greater than 82, so therefore, which one must be smaller? EF must be smaller, and FG must be greater. And the only conclusion I want is EF is less than FG. If you say FE and GF, that's fine too. So with the partner, let's go ahead and apply the converse. Go. Do make the notation, please.
Angle B
All right, do we need explanation on this one? BAC must be greater?
I have a question.
Yes.
How do we know when to put the measure of BAC instead of just angle BAC?
You know, I should have said measure.
Oh, okay.
That's me not being specific. Okay, any other questions on this?
How did you find that?
How did I find it? So I knew 4 is congruent to 4. Is that true?
Yes.
By the reflexive property of congruence, these two are true. So as long as I know two sides are congruent to two of the other, the side opposite controls the angle. So since 7 is greater than 6, this angle up here must be greater than the bottom one. All right, let's go on to the back, and I want to look at the last one and then the middle one. So on the back, and no, we're not going to do two column proof. We're just going to analyze what is happening. It is a good practice. So here we go. C is a midpoint of BD. So I know BC is what to CD? Congruent. And then it says angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So what kind of triangle do I have in the middle? If two angles are congruent, isosceles, then I know these two sides are congruent too. So now we're looking at the hinge theorem. If these two sides are congruent to the two sides of the other, and I tell you that angle 3 is bigger than angle 4. Now, instead of saying greater than, large or smaller than, let's do an actual concrete example. If I say angle 3 is 80, give me a number less than 80. 70? Any number less than, you could have given me 79 as well, which is fine. Because 80 is greater, we know BA has to be what of the DE? Greater. And that's the conclusion I needed, nothing else. So number 5 is the last one. And this one's going to take a little more brain power. Frank, let's read. So range of value is going to be where I need from this to this. So it's going to be some big number. So what I want you to write is the following. Write X. Write less than at the beginning and less than after. We need some small number on the left, some bigger number on the right. So we have to do or apply algebra 1 twice. Okay? So the first thing. I know these two sides are congruent by the given. Do we also have reflexive property of congruence? So analyzing the number. 18 to 19. Which one is greater? So would you agree that 5x minus 12 has to be less than 38? Yes. So let's write out. 5x minus 12 has to be less than 38. Then I know when I add 12 on both sides, we get 50. And then we divide it by what on both sides? 5. We get 10. So it says 10 is on the greater side. X is going to be on the left. So that means 10 goes right here. All right. So here's where the brain power is going to happen. I need to find out the smaller side. Would you agree 18 is smaller than 19? So everything revolves around this one. The angle can never be negative, nor could be positive. Can it be 0? Can it be 0?
Yeah.
The angle can be 0, then you have a ray.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So we know the other side is going to be, take your smaller one. It has to be greater than 0. Otherwise, we'll get some negative number, or otherwise it's not going to open up. So we have 5x must be greater than 12. Then x must be greater than 12 over 5. And if you like that, the fraction the way it is, that's fine. If you're a decimal person, just because it's clean, it's about 5 point how many? Or 2 point how many? 2.4? I'm going to write that right here. Only because the decimal is clean, it is okay to make it into, or round it to the, whatever clean decimal. Okay, any questions on this one? So you compare, and then set the usual inequality, and take the smaller one greater than 0. Every time. As long as I'm looking for the range.